You want to do it right, you can do it right now. You can change your life. If you want to do it right, you can do it right now. Come on and change your life. Zakiya Larry live in the building.
Hey, it's Zakiya Larry Live, and I have a special show for you today. I have an amazing guest, one of the top 5 scratch that, I'm creating a new category, the #1 motivational speaker in the world by my account, Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas. Oh my gosh. Hey,
how you feeling?
Good morning.
You doing all right?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I'm still trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be #1 because then I don't have nothing to fight for. So I like the 5. When you said 5, I love it.
Okay, I'm with the number 5.
Yeah, let's go 5.
Speaker
and
in
we're
the
going to chase
world.
the #1. Whoever that
You're gonna
is,
chase
we're
one.
chasing him.
So listen, Eric, one, thank you for being with Zakiya Larry Live.
Thank
So
you for
our
having
whole
us.
thing is about finding your core and elevating. And that's what you help people to do. There are so many people who want to be motivational speakers and they don't know where to start. But even outside of being motivational speakers, there are people who want more for their lives and don't know where to start.
Absolutely.
And you help them with that.
Yeah. Well, you know, for me, I tell young men, if you want to be a motivational speaker, be motivational. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it might sound real simple, but I have a lot of people who allow life, to get them down. So my thing is, if you don't have the energy, if you're not pumped up, motivated every day, then you're not going to be able to help anybody else do it.
But how do you get pumped up every day? Because life happens every day. I mean, for instance,
Well, that's
this
why I'm thinking
morning
you should
I was
be-
driving and quiet. I was like, I'm over it, right?
Yeah.
How do you find that every single day?
Well, you said it. When you get life, like I'm pretty much geeked about that. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I see it is, if I need hot sauce, I can go to, Walmart and get that. If I need water, I can go to the gas station and get that. If I need an education, I can go to college and get that. I can't give myself life. Like you can't produce that. So when I wake up, I'm like, whoa, this is something that I myself cannot produce. I think about, individuals like Martin Luther King. And I know when Martin Luther King was assassinated, like I'm sure he had a schedule. So it wasn't like he didn't have nothing to do the next week or the week after that. He had a schedule, but he didn't get to decide, how long he was going to live. So when you get life, like when the blood is running through your body, I've been to funerals and I'm looking at people like, I just saw him 5 days ago. Like last week and he was walking around. So when you get life, to me, that's like, let's go. And I tease. I was somewhere recently and I was working for a company. I won't say the sports company's name, but they didn't pick me up from my hotel. And I was speaking at 5, and it was like 4:20, and they were going through it. And like, I'm sorry, ET, we didn't get the car there. And I told the lady, I said, listen to me very carefully. Do me a favor. This is a first world problem. I'm like, let's not trip. It's a first world problem. Like, it's not, the car's not here. Like, I have running water and I'm old, so forgive me. But I remember when I used to go to my grandma's house and it was cold water out one faucet, hot water out another faucet. And you had to put your hands together and let the water
Mix it up.
To mix it up. Now I got one, but I just hit one and both come out the same.
Living life.
So I'm just saying, that's a first world problem. So for me, if it's a car accident, first world problem. If the AC went out in the house, first world problem. Like, I'm not tripping. I have life and life more abundantly so we can get to that other stuff. That other stuff will work itself out. So that's why I'm always pumped up and excited because I can't produce this.
You know what? Let's talk about stereotypes really quickly. Why did you get into motivational speaking? Technically, you didn't have to.
This is what's important for me. Life is seasons.
Okay.
And I think some of us get caught up in, seasons. Like, okay, this is my season and this is going to last forever. That's a season, So for me, this is the season to take everything I've gone through, good, bad, or ugly, and now give it to the world. So I do work with, athletes. I do work with kids who are in juvenile. I do work with teachers. So it's like whatever I have, whatever I've been through in life, the homelessness, the high school dropout, it took, however many years to get a degree, like all of that stuff can be given to other people who are behind me and say, hey, this is the good stuff I did. You can use it. Here's some bad stuff I did. Hey, if I was you, I would, like, you grown. If you want to do the same stupid stuff, you can. But this is what I did successfully. This is what you can look at in my life and say, man, wow, you did that. Like, I want to do that. Or, man, I can't believe you did that. I don't want to do that. So for me, it's not about just motivational speaking or being an athlete, whatever. It's about the moment. Like, these are the great, the bad, the ugly, and I want to share it with you so that, and this is what my mother used to say. My mother used to say that every generation should get better. My grandma didn't finish school. My mom, had me when she was 18 years old, got pregnant at 17, barely finished high school, couldn't go to college. So for us, it was like, look, go to college. Like, every generation should get better. So that's what it's about. So it's not really just, I don't even like to be called a motivational speaker, to be honest with you, because I don't think that's what I do. I know it's a part of what I do, but I'm trying to empower. I told a group of kids the other day, forget basketball, football, baseball, forget all of that. Don't be a consumer, because you can make $30 million and lose $30 million. And we know entertainers that lost $30 million in 1 year. So my thing is, guys, don't be a consumer, be a producer. So I'm not trying to inspire. That's good. That's step one. What I'm trying to do is empower. I want your life to change after you've been in my presence.
E.T., that's huge, because I always say that, especially with people who are in the upper levels of their career, we don't need motivation. We wake up every day and come in to do it. It's not about motivation. It's that what's next.
What's next?
The what's next, and that's so huge. The empowerment piece. Now that you're motivated and you want to do it, now I need
I need the skills. I need the information. That's right.
So listen, skills and information. I happen to have been at one of your conferences, and it was marriage-based. And when I tell you, y'all was telling your business.
Oh, no questions asked.
Why?
Because for me, my reputation is not as important as your life. So for me to look good, that's not as important as you having a healthy marriage. And for me, I just think family is it's not, everybody doesn't have to be married, but I just know for me, making money is good, getting degrees are great. But when I used to come home and my little baby girl used to act like I was Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? That's when she was 4 and 5. She's 19 now. She in college.
She's over. Now she's
looking for a boo now. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
She in college looking for, right. But when I was the man, back in the day, when she thought I was everything, it was just a great feeling, coming home and having a why. And I was talking to my son the other day.
Pause for the cause.
Okay, I got you.
Where's the organ? Where's my music?
I got you.
Coming home to the why.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about that at Zakiya Larry Live. What is your why?
Yeah.
Because that's what drives you.
Absolutely.
Not the what,
not
the money,
what.
the car, the house, the why.
Yeah, not the
so
how.
So your family was your why.
Yeah.
What's your why right now?
I mean, still family, because my son's 22. He's working for the company now. My daughter's 19, so they don't have their family yet. They're not, they're not there yet, but they've always been my father wasn't there for me, and no, disrespect. My biological father is still alive, and he follows my work, so no disrespect, but he wasn't in my life. We didn't really start talking till I was in my 30s. Right. And I just don't want that for my children. Yes. I don't know what he was going through. I don't know what happened back, in the 70s. I'm not really sure why he didn't handle his business. But for me, I had a kid once when I was teaching at Michigan State University. Blew my mind, Asian kid. And so we were talking about stereotypes. Yep. And he was like, one of the stereotypes is we supposed to be smart in everything. And, he I struggle in math. So he's like, don't get it twisted. I'm not, I don't know what you heard, but I'm Asian.
But I'm struggling.
Yeah, on both sides, and I'm struggling.
Not on both sides.
He said on both sides. So I'm not, I ain't mixed. I'm on both sides. Right. And so I was just talking to him about it. I was like, I couldn't tell you struggled because you were in every office hour, every tutorial. And so he was like, yeah, I struggled on it. He said, but the reason why I do it is because of the dynasty. And I'm like, whoa, the dynasty. I'm like, how far that go back? Yeah, I'm like, is that I've seen family trees at
on
family
our
I see the family tree. You can see grandma, great grandma.
On our shirts. Okay.
Yeah, I'm being real, but for him, he said the dynasty, and I'm like, ooh, how long is that? How far does that go back? So when you talk about a why, and you're doing it for all. So for me, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get my family at one point beyond the tree. Maybe 200-300 years from now, I want them to be able to say, the dynasty and to be able to go all the way back to what me and my wife did, for them. So it's not over. Yeah, my kids are doing well, but it's not over until we get to generation to generation to generation to generation. So the why to me is important. And that's why you get up. That's why for one guy, he like, why are you getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, why aren't you getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you sleeping to 9? Like, you got a family. When I walked in, you introduced me to the producers of this show. 300 years ago, they didn't have that chance. And it's not that there weren't individuals who were smart enough to have a show. We just didn't have those opportunities. Like if you went to Alabama, you was picking cotton. And so here we are now. You mean to tell me you're not going to get up? I'm free. You're not going to get up at 3 o'clock. Like I'm getting paid to talk. I'm getting paid to teach. I'm getting paid to train. My ancestors didn't have that opportunity. So that fires me up. That somebody's going to give me a paycheck to do what my ancestors 300 years ago, and I'm going to be real, were way smarter than me. Like, they were way more intelligent than I am right now.
And resourceful and survivalist. Because to be able to create generations of human beings after being enslaved and malnourished and massacred, when I tell you I'm weak compared to them, and I know that. So I love your perspective.
So at least I can get up at 3. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Can I get up at like 7:30?
I mean, you can get up at what time? It's symbolic. Let's just say that.
Okay, thank you.
3 a.m. is symbolic. Right? No. It's symbolic. It is symbolic to, and I have 18, 19-year-olds that I work with who say, E, you think I got to get up at 3? I said, no, 3 is symbolic. It is. I have children. You know, I got a wife, so I got to get up before them. So whatever time you need to get up, that will give you 2-3 hours ahead of your competition, whatever time that is. But you said it. You're the number, like, top 5. So whoever 1, 2, 3, 4 is, I need to get up before them and grind before they get up. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So whoever the number 1 motivational speaker is, if he getting up at 8, I need to get up a little bit before my man if I'm going to ever catch him, and I have to do more than what he's doing because he's already got a head start. So I can't even, listen to me, I can't even wake up and do what he's doing. I've got to wake up earlier and I got to go to bed later if I'm ever going to catch him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So to that point, because we all have competition in our own areas. Yeah. We talk a lot about brands on this show, too, because at the end of the day, I'm an elevation strategist. I elevate brands, moves, and ideas, period. And so I teach people how to...
You do a good job at that.
Thank you, E.
You do a good job
Thank
at
you,
that.
E.T. You heard it. The camera... No.
It's real. Hey, the truth shall set you free.
Well, and that's what I appreciate about you, because you've always been a really honest brother. And so it's an honor to follow and support your work.
Thank you.
So to that point about your work, I elevate brands, moves, and ideas. So I help people to understand that you can do different things as long as it drives to a central goal. That way your brand is always congruent. Let's get into your brand, because you don't call yourself a motivational speaker. You definitely empower. But you're so much more than that. We just talked about a marriage story. Where does marriage come in? You are in Houston. You just had an event that I want you to talk about. How does all this work together, and what is that central goal that you're pressing toward?
Yeah, performance enhancer. That's what we do. If you're married, you can, as a husband, you got some room for growth. You can enhance. Like, are you texting her on the reg? Are you telling her how beautiful she is? Are you supporting her career if she's staying at home? Are you supporting her as a mother, a father, a wife? Are you supporting your husband in his career? Are you supporting your children? So for us, it's just about enhancing. And here's the other thing. What we've discovered is that most people are stuck on trying to perform at a high level in one level. So there's a lot of husbands who come home, and what they give the job, they're not giving their wife and kids. So when they get home, they feel like, well, I'm
done. I'm
finished. I'm off the clock. I'm making good money. I'm taking care of you guys. And it's like, no, she still needs to be loved. Your children still need to be loved. So what we're teaching is that you can live a triple-double life. Whatever your hand find to do, you could do with all your might. Not just one thing your hand find to do. Whatever your hand find to do, you can do it with all your might. So I don't want my fans, my supporters to say, yo, E, the best thing ever since sliced bread. And my wife I don't know who you talking about. And my kids are like, who? The motivator. He don't motivate us when he at home. He got a nasty attitude. He always on edge. I don't know who you talking about. So I want my wife, my mother, father, my sisters, my neighbors, my supporters. I want everybody to have the same, witness about E.T.
We are redefining Mondays. I'm so excited. We are here with E.T., Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, the top 5 motivational speaker in the world. Okay, so listen, let's get into a little more tea with Eric because like he keeps saying, he keeps it real. So let's get deeper into his business so it can help our own.
We are performance enhancers. We that juice and not the illegal juice. We the real juice. We the real juice. And we give you the energy you need, to succeed. We give you the energy you need to succeed. So give your wife 120, give your schoolwork 120. If you're a parent, 120, give your body 120, eat right, work out, whatever that means for you. But everything you do, it should be 120%. You should do one thing, 120, another thing, 30. And again, I'm not perfect. We don't try to promote perfection. We strive for it. But somebody that I really respect, I found out that this person had like another life for almost like 20-something years. And it just blew my mind because it's like, yo, is that possible?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that possible? And that's what I try to teach people. Like, you never lie to nobody but yourself, but like live your life with authenticity and live it to the highest level is what we teach.
Right. So listen, what mode do we need to be in when we're pursuing our dreams? Is it professional mode? Is it beast mode?
Beast mode. Beast mode.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm a very feminine woman.
Yeah.
So how
and we're grateful for that.
Praise the Lord.
And we're grateful for that.
How does a person who says, E.T., I'm not you, but how do I get into beast mode? Because I'm not going to kick you in the door and growl.
Yeah.
But listen, I make stuff happen. How do we find our own beast mode?
Well, like if you watch, you notice I have a shirt.
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
Love it.
Yeah, hyena and a lion.
Yep.
And the reason why I had this shirt on is because I get sick and tired of. I guess it's a fad, right? Where everybody's a lion. Like, so when you see people's like tattoos, everybody got a lion. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nobody don't got a giraffe. I'm like, can I get a giraffe? Can we get a giraffe? Can I get a parrot? You know what I'm saying? Can somebody give me a flamingo, please?
Okay, please.
Because what it's saying is everybody's wearing a lion and we are all lions and we're not all lions. Now, can we all do what the lion does, and which is, hunt, take care of its family, feed itself, protect? Absolutely. So that's why I got a hyena with a lion in his mouth. Because nobody ever talks about hyenas, but hyenas, they killing lions, right? They will allow a lion to, to get a prey, and they'll go eat the meat. Like, lion gonna get up out of here. That's ours. Wow. So they are surviving too, without doing it like lions. They run in packs. That's why I wear a hyena. You'll never see E.T. nowhere without my crew. Like, I didn't get here on my own. So when people like, you got a PhD, you wrote all these books, no, we got a PhD. No, we wrote books. No, we travel the world. And somebody say, you humble. I ain't humble. I ain't do this on my own. That's not humility. That's truth, right? I haven't done anything on my own. I didn't do a dissertation on my own. I had people edit it, all right? I didn't turn the final piece in on my own. We had a company that went through everything. I didn't do anything on my own. I had advisors. I had a committee. I had a university. So we all do it different. And I have on a hyena because I want people to understand I'm not a lion and didn't do it like a lion. So you can do it however you do it, but at the end of the goal is you want to be the best at what you do. Not number one. Everybody on that number one. You may never be number one. You may never win the Super Bowl. You may never win the NBA Finals. You may never write the best book. It may not happen, but you can commit to being the best version of you. Wow. That's what you can commit to, and doing it in a way that fits your personality. You know what I'm saying? So you see me walk in, hug. I don't suggest that everybody hug everybody. That everybody makes eye contact with everybody, that everybody give everybody their number. I don't suggest that, but I'm relational. That's how I win. So if you're an introvert and you don't like talking to people, that's cool, but that's not what I am. So I'm going to succeed in life by building healthy, wholesome relationships. Another person may not do that. They may do it through their skill set. I didn't get a degree from skill. I got a degree through will. So there's some people who are smart enough to do it with skill. I did it through will. Yeah. So you got to be yourself, but this is all I'm saying. Beast mode means knowing everything you need to do what you do and committing yourself to every day you wake up, you're going to make it happen. Even the rest day. So if you rest 120. Like if you rest, make sure you
love
get some
that.
real sleep. When I rest, we about to do a cruise. I took my wife to Dubai. When I rest, I rest. My rest isn't I sleep a little bit, watching TV, talking on the telephone. When I rest, I rest. So I'm just saying, whatever your hand find to do it with all your might.
Wow. See, that's speaking to me because for more than 2 years, I was incredibly sick. I was fighting for my life. And I was just released from doctor's care this January.
Wow.
And even now,
Praise God.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Wow.
So when you talk about rest, that resonates with me because I rest like 30.
Yeah.
And I need to get to 120 because I can say I'm resting and I'm doing emails on my phone.
Yeah, that's not good.
Foolery,
That's not
right?
good.
Like
Yeah.
foolery. So
Yeah.
thank you for that
Yeah.
because we live in a culture that says if you're resting, you're weak.
Yeah.
You know, hashtag no days off, hashtag team no sleep. And I get that.
Absolutely.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
But like, how do you balance
Yeah,
that?
no, the no days off when you work and no days off. I'm saying, no
You
days
work
off.
no days off.
I'm just saying,
I
yeah.
like
And
that.
this is why I say that because, you know, I worked at Michigan State University for
Okay.
a few years. I'd go to work at 8 o'clock. People get there at 9. The first 30 minutes, they reading the newspaper, drinking coffee. Next 30, they on the internet. The next 30, they talking to all they. I'm like, when do y'all work? You know what I'm saying? And the culture is when you had a real job, you don't start working till probably about 10 o'clock.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You don't start working at 10 o'clock. And then they on lunch break at 12.
Right.
And then when they come back after lunch, they like in gear 3. Like, and they got 6 gears. So my thing is like, yo, when you go to work, no days off. Work, no plays off.
Yeah.
Think about, you know, I was watching Venus Today do her thing, and mad respect to anybody that can be in there for 23 years and you still on your way to the Wimbledon. Like, that's just unbelievable. These girls are old for tennis and still competing.
Amazing.
You know, but when I watch, it's like no serve off. You know what I'm saying? It's like no volley off because they count. And I think that's what we do wrong when we come to work. We don't realize it counts. So when you mad because you ain't making the money you want to make or you're not climbing the ladder, you're not giving me 120. Why should I pay you 120 or give you 120 opportunities when you're giving me 70%?
Absolutely.
You're not serious, you know. So my thing is when you are at work. When I'm on vacation with my wife, she like, I don't want to see that phone. I don't want to, like, if you see somebody that know you and they want to take a picture, do it quick. Don't hold no story. Don't let them tell you their life background. Like, we on vacation. But when we not on vacation, we up to the time we go to sleep, we making that thing happen. So that's what I mean. But you have to rest. You have to rest because your energy, you know, I walked in when I saw you. I was like, I didn't know if it was the skirt, but it was radiant. Like the hair, the smile, the makeup. You got it sweet. Because I see some people. I'm like, girl, I could tell. I can't. You got it. Boom. You got it. The shoes, like everything, just boom. And that's important because when I saw you, and in your beauty, there was that energy that comes from it. People don't realize that when we dealing with each other, you're either withdrawing or you depositing. And if you withdraw too much, that you overdrafted and we through. That's it. But when you deposit, people, how did you get here? We deposit every Monday. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, we putting something positive out, and guess what happens to us? We in Houston and get this opportunity. We didn't talk. You didn't know, I didn't know that you knew I was here, but we putting that positive energy out, and then the positive energy came back. We got, and I thought it was just a radio interview. I didn't even know I would get to, be on.
But you wake up fly, so praise the Lord for cheekbones.
I didn't know.
Right. You did that.
Right, well, praise God. Amen.
No, I love that. So a lot of people may know your story. You talked about homelessness. You talked about, the struggles. And that's your story that you tell. What are you dealing with right now that you have to wake up every morning and overcome to still give to other people? Is there something that's kind of lingering in your life?
I got a 21-year-old son. I got a 21-year-old son who grew up under all of this.
Okay.
And he's trying to figure out now, which parts of it he wants to embrace.
Okay.
And which parts he doesn't want to embrace. He's becoming his own man. And so for me as a father, you see, nobody give you a manual. Nobody told you when to stop. You know what I'm saying? So they come out and you hands on. You know what I'm saying? But as they get older, you got to pull back and you got to train up a child in the way they should go. And when they are getting older, they'll return. And so that's probably the biggest thing for me right now is I'm so proud of him, graduated in 4 years. He worked for Michigan State basketball. He was a general manager for, Tom Izzo. And I'm just proud because he played football and, he was pretty good. Broke his femur.
Wow.
So he had to make a decision. He decided he didn't want to, continue, but he found a way to stay in the game,
Right.
And so very proud of him, but like a lot of young men, he's finding his way, and he grew up. I always say he wasn't a pastor's kid because I don't really believe in that, but he was.
Right.
And there were pressures that he had, whether we lived by it or not. And so, that's a big thing. And my daughter's going into her sophomore year, and she's trying to date. And as a father, that's tough. No man is ever good enough for your daughter. I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
And so just kind of working that with her and pushing her and not pushing her and. She, you asked, right? So she came home for the summer, after your freshman year, she came home and she was like, Dad, I'm going to go out. And I'm like, all right, cool, because I know if you're in college, you go out.
Right.
And it was like 10:15. She wasn't gone. It was 10:30. She wasn't gone. I said, I thought you said you was going out. She said, I am. I said, well, if you're going out, how you going to get back by 11:15, 11:30? You know what I'm saying? It's 10:25.
Come on. It does not get popping until 11.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
come on.
That's why I say 11:30, because as soon as it get popping, you got 30 minutes
to come home.
Pop, and then come on home. You know what I'm saying? Get you 30 strong popping minutes.
And let's come home. 30-minute pop.
Yeah, I'm old school. Houdini say the freaks come out at night. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you to be out when they out. And so she left the house about 11 o'clock with 3 of her homegirls.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be real. She did the pen for me so I knew where she was. Girl, I stayed up. My wife knocked out. I'm up on the couch watching the pen to see if it's moving the whole night. She gets home about 1:28. And, I didn't say anything to her. I was making sure she was okay. Got in. I followed her home. She went upstairs. And I get a little nervous. There's stuff going on in Detroit all the time. And on campus, there's stuff that goes on. But it's hard when you are a father who used to dropping them off and staying in the car until they get back in the car. Mm-hmm. And now it's like you got to let them go and just trust, that everything is going to be all right. So that's what I'm dealing with now. My wife retired in March. Of course, she was diagnosed with MS a little bit over 3 years ago and doing phenomenal. Great medication. She's changed her diet, like vegan, vegetarian for the most part.
Wow.
And, so we travel in the world together. But the cool thing about life, and I just want to share this, there are a lot of people who think if they get money, life is going to be great. If they get the right house or car, life happens to everybody.
Yeah.
The blessings, shine on the just and the unjust. The rain falls on the just and unjust. Like life happens. I didn't know my wife was going to get diagnosed with MS. We dated when we were 16 and all the way up to now. We just thought life was we planned for perfect and it didn't happen. So don't think, money going to just solve all your problems in a certain neighborhood. Everybody has to deal with life.
Yeah.
And the question is, how will you deal with it? How we approach it. My biological father, we're talking. We started in our 30s, and he had his friends around. And just recently, we started talking one-on-one.
Wow.
It took years. I'm 46. I don't know how old he is, but I never quit. I never gave up. I never said you weren't in my life. Why you got your boys on the phone when you call me? When I see you, why you always have somebody? Like, why can't we? I just say, hey, take what you get and make the most of what you have. At least you talking to me with your friends. At least you are coming around with your friends, and now we doing one-on-one. So, man, life is great if you enjoy it.
Right.
It's bitter if you see it as bitter. So I just want to encourage folks, don't think you get the PhD or you get one of the top motivational speakers in the world, you make money and things are going, no. Life, I got an aunt, she has cancer. This will be the 6th aunt. The other 5 passed. Life still happened to E.T., stuff happens. So just smell the roses, turn the lemons into lemonades, and we don't get a lot of this thing called life, so enjoy the little bit that you do have.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Eric Thomas, for joining us here on Zakiya Larry Live. When I tell you, I literally have chills right now. He keeps it real, he's honest, but at the end of the day, he gave us some stuff that if you really dissect it, you can use this in your everyday life to change your life. So thank you again to Eric Thomas. Shout out to the ET team who made this all possible.
Now it's time for your 1-minute elevate.
Sometimes in life, you experience challenges that you think will break you. It might be a physical illness, mental strain, or it may just be sometimes you want to give up. Now, I'm not here to motivate, but I'm here to tell you what I know for sure. And what I am sure of is that when you are at your lowest, the best place to look is up. Because where your mind is and where your heart is placed is ultimately where the rest of you will go. Keep looking up. Keep joining us here in the building with Zakiya Larry Live for real life, real talk, real change. And together, we will help you to elevate to your highest potential. Thank you for joining me today. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
It's Zakiya Larry Live. Zakiya Larry